They said it was just a toy. A cute, golden-furred collectible with a smile that could melt your heart. But in the wrong home, that smile turns into something else. Something that never stops watching you. You're listening to Whispers of the Unknown, where the stories are real, the danger is real, and the fear will follow you long after the video ends. Subscribe if you dare. Labubu Doll, the curse no one warned about. Melon was just 27, living in Shanghai with her loyal dog, Bao. She wasn't from the city. She had grown up in a small rural village in China. After her father's sudden death, she had moved to the city to earn money for her mother and younger sister. She had a gentle personality, the kind that made strangers smile. She worked at a toy store, surrounded by shelves of bright plush animals, figurines, and dolls. Melon loved them all, but dolls were her weakness. She collected them from different countries, arranging them carefully on a shelf in her apartment. One afternoon, the store received a special shipment, a limited edition Labubu doll collection. Within hours, customers swarmed in, buying every piece. But Meline had already set aside one for herself, a rare golden fur Labubu with sparkling blue eyes and an unusually wide, sweet grin. It was different from all the others. She'd never seen that exact shade of gold before. The long, pointed ears, the oversized buck teeth, the way the glass eyes seemed to follow you. Melon hugged it tightly, took photos with it, and even introduced it to Bao, calling it the newest member of her doll family. But Bao's reaction wasn't cute. The dog froze, hackles raised, then began barking violently, a deep, guttural growl she had never heard from him before. His eyes stayed locked on the Labubu, lips curled back to show his teeth. "Stop it, Bao," she whispered, thinking he was just startled by the new toy. She placed the doll on the shelf and went to bed. That night, Bao refused to sleep in her room. Instead, he lay in the hallway, glaring at the doll as if expecting it to move. The next morning, as Melon grabbed her bag for work, Bao blocked her path, biting the hem of her jeans. He pulled toward the shelf, toward the doll. Annoyed, she locked him in the bathroom so she could leave on time. But her day was nothing like normal. The usually patient, smiling Melon found herself snapping at customers, arguing over small things. Her boss, shocked at her behavior, scolded her harshly, then told her not to come back. By the time she reached home, tears blurred her vision. She opened the bathroom door, expecting Bao to bolt out, but he didn't. Instead, he crept out quietly, his eyes softening as he saw her crying. That night, she fell asleep early. Somewhere in the darkness, she woke to the sound of laughter. Not joyful laughter, not human laughter. A thin, high-pitched giggle, coming from the corner of her room. She peered into the shadows. Someone, or something, stood there, watching her. Her breath caught. The figure dissolved into the dark, leaving only the Labubu doll sitting perfectly still on the shelf. When she fell back asleep, the dream came. She was in her bedroom, but the walls seemed to rot before her eyes. A red-skinned creature crouched in the shadows. Its teeth were long, sharp, uneven. Its nails were even longer, curling into claws that dripped with something black. Its skin looked torn in places, as if it had been burned and left to fester. It moved toward her slowly, then lunged. The claws reached for her throat. She screamed, but the sound was swallowed by the creature's shrill, piercing laugh. It slashed at her. She jolted awake, heart pounding, and froze. The Labubu doll was sitting on her chest. Her scream brought Bao charging into the room. She stared at the doll, her mind racing. She had put it on the shelf before bed. How could it? She swore its grin had widened. Before she could move, Bao leapt forward, tearing the doll from her and shaking it violently. The seams ripped, stuffing spilled. She didn't stop him. Breathless, she stuffed the shredded remains into the trash, called Bao to her side, and went back to sleep. But morning brought something worse. Her head throbbed. Tiny red welts covered her arms. Bao was gone. She called for him. No answer. She searched the apartment. Nothing. Finally, she entered the bathroom. He wasn't there. But in the mirror, over her shoulder, a shape. The same red-skinned, rotting creature from her dream, laughing. She spun around and found nothing. Nothing except the Labubu doll, sitting perfectly on the bathroom shelf, intact. Its sweet smile was gone. In its place was a toothy, malicious grin. Panicking, she ran outside calling for Bao, but the streets were empty. When she came back in, the doll was in the kitchen, its hands and teeth stained red. She looked under the sink. Bao's body was there, torn apart. Milan's knees gave way. She knew now this was no ordinary doll. She searched online, desperate for answers, and found reports from around the world. People attacked after buying a Labubu. Strange illnesses, sudden job loss, deaths in the family. Some believed the doll was cursed, even possessed by a demon known as Pazuzu. Several countries had banned it. Priests had tried exorcisms. Melon didn't hesitate. She burned it to ash, sealed the remains in a jar, and threw it into the river. That night, she told her younger sister what had happened. She slept, thinking it was over. The next morning, neighbors found her body, and beside it was the Labubu doll. Some say the Labubu is still out there, moving from one owner to the next. So, if you ever see one, golden fur, blue eyes, that unnerving smile, will you pick it up? Or will you remember this story?